CFL on CBC from Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. Today, the Saskatchewan Roughriders meet the Edmonton Eskimos.
Calgary was to lose their final two games. We're underway in the Gizmo farewell at Commonwealth Stadium, and this is Demetrius Bendras for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And Bendras turns it up around the 40-yard line to set Saskatchewan in pretty good shape. Now again, Henry Burris left last week's game with a strained right shoulder. Marvin Graves took most of the reps this week. We were told that Burris did throw yesterday in the hotel room, but Danny Barrett's made the choice.
Based upon Henry's injury situation, as opposed to risking him to further injury, even though it's a big game, you don't want to risk his career. And the decision is made that we're going to go with Marvin Graves as our starter. And if something happens during the course of the game, John Rayborn will probably be our backup. The likelihood of Henry playing in this game is probably nil because of the nature of the injury.
Marvin Graves came in last week to replace Burris in the fourth quarter. Hand off to Darren Davis, and he burst through a hole, and Davis could score. Darren Davis inside the 20. And he'll be caught from behind at the 9. What a start. Terry Ray had to prevent the touchdown.
Well, Chris, Darren Davis had his best rushing game of the year against these very Edmonton Eskimos when he rushed for 117 yards. I mean, this is the way you want to start if you're a Saskatchewan fan. Great job of opening up a hole. Look at the hole right there. He goes right through O'Day, Comiskey, and Mikowski, running the daylight. Nobody touches him until they tackle him after a huge gain.
So the Saskatchewan Roughriders set up after the 69-yard run by Davis. And their first and goal from the 8. They go right back to Davis. Met at the 5. He has 3 more. Steve Anderson, who missed last week's game with a viral infection, made the tackle.
Well, I like the way they do it. This is what you got to do. You got to come out and set the tone, and they're doing that right now. 2 plays in a row they run. They're going to start fooling around with that defense, take them out of any schemes they might want to run. We know that Edmonton has a very active linebacking crew.
Davis with 117 yards and 98 yards rushing in the 2 previous matchups against the Eskimos. Second and goal. Graves, short drop into the end zone, touchdown, Curtis Marsh. And what a start for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Well, I tell you what, Chris, you coming out of the blocks right now. If you're wondering if Saskatchewan's folding their tents, people, you better forget that right now. They know they still have a small chance to make the playoffs. And after 2 great runs by Darren Davis, Marvin Graves just sits back there right now, and Marsh does the rest, beating not only Terry Ray, the linebacker, but Ralph Staten to get open, and a beautiful toss right where only, as you say, Curtis Marsh could catch it at the end of the end zone.
10th touchdown reception for Marsh on the year. McCallum adds the point after a 3-play scoring drive to open proceedings here in shocking fashion at Commonwealth Stadium. Touchdown toss of the year by Graves. There's Gizmo, and you can already hear the crowd energized. The expectation of Henry Williams getting his hands on the football. From the 20. He's jacked up, and he gets across the 50. That is not his specialty, but even on kickoff returns, he can be lethal.
You know what? He scored 28 touchdowns on punt returns, and we forget that he's also dangerous on the kickoff returns. He's got 3 touchdowns on kickoff returns. It doesn't matter. Once he gets, his hands on the football right now, he finds a seam. This is what he does. He does another job right there, and boy, busted up. Great field position for the Eskimos.
It was remarkable scene here 2.5 hours ago. He ran the stairs virtually the entire west side of the stadium. Mark Norro with the short gain, and he's driven back, and I was wondering if he wasn't leaving it all on the stairs beforehand, but he just had to do something to just keep his energy going.
Well, you see Green Norro taking the place of Troy Mills again. Sean Daniels, big game last week at the fullback position. The receiving crew, Hervey, McCorvey, Vaughn in the middle, and Nigel Williams on the outside. big offensive line. Groenewegen, Cunningham, Princeton, Beaton, and Morris really getting the job done.
Huge game for Leo Groenewegen. The center, his 251st consecutive game. Nealon Green on a roll, second and long, and he's got Terry Vaughn for a first down. Big collision, and Vaughn doesn't go down until he crosses the 25.
Well, this is just what Nealon Green gives you. Another dimension. He ran the ball well last week against Toronto. What he does, he breaks contain. When he breaks contain, he freezes the defenders. They don't know if they should come up and tackle him. They end up leaving the receiver. Terry Vaughn, wide open in the opening in the zone. Bam, nice little toss from Nealon Green right to him, and then he refuses to be brought down. Hey, Chris, this whole team is jacked up.
31 yards for Vaughn. That pushes him over 1,000 for the year. It's the 6th consecutive season that TV has gone over 1,000. What a start to the game. First down at the Saskatchewan 24. It's Mark Nora, and he pounds down to the 16. 8 more for the product from UBC.
Well, just a great job of getting behind the big offensive line. You see Terry Vaughn right there. As you say, the 6th consecutive 1,000-yard receiving season. I mean, Narcisse has got 7. I think he's the only one, Chris, if I'm not mistaken, that has one more than Terry Vaughn.
Tied with Brian Kelly, Tom Scott, 2 legendary former Eskimos, and James Murphy for 2nd place now.
There you go.
Here's the give left side, and Mark Nora's going to be drilled back. It was 2nd and 3. And it will be interesting to gauge the forward progress. Chance McCarty, Sheldon Napastic in on the tackle.
Well, you know what? This McCarty kid, Chance McCarty, we watched him play a couple of weeks ago against BC, where he blocked a punt and put Saskatchewan back in that game against the BC Lions. Here's a guy getting his first chance to start today. You know, he says, you know what? I've bided my time. I've waited for my opportunity. This is it. You don't get many. You got to take advantage of them when you do get them.
A former high school quarterback, in fact, redshirted at college as a freshman as a quarterback. Sean Fleming in on 3rd down. 5 minutes in, and the Eskimos trying to get points on the board in response to the opening touchdown drive of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Fleming good, and it's 7-3 early in Edmonton. Marvin Graves was expected to be a CFL star when he came out of Syracuse after setting all kinds of school records. And then he toured the East, Toronto, Montreal, Hamilton. He has been with Saskatchewan in the past. It hasn't completely worked out yet for Marvin Graves, but he's getting another chance. Saskatchewan scrimmaging from their own 35. He's going to air it out, looking for Curtis Marsh. And he's got it. Flag goes down. Marsh is out at the 34.
Pass interference. Edmonton number 29. Decline. First down.
But what he does so nice is that he comes back and he finds the football. Turns his body, keeps his eye on it, comes back to the football, comes up with a big catch.
Marsh winning that battle against Jerome Peterson and catching the ball in spite of the interference call. 41-yard gain, so 46 yards for Marsh, who's now 8 back of Milt Stiegel as he tries to regain the lead in the receiving department. Graves on fire, gives it back to Davis, and Darren Davis with a juke down to the 25-yard line. He has 8 more before Terry Ray makes the stop.
Again, an excellent job, Chris Sarkin at offensive line, providing an opportunity, a little opening. That's all he's looking for. Originally designed to go up the middle, up the gut. He turns, takes it to the outside, and fights, and refuses to be brought down. Takes 3 Eskimos to bring him down. And again, a big first down gain of 8 yards.
Good situation for Graves. 2nd and 2. Davis the lone setback, and he takes the handoff, and he'll have a first down and a lot more as he squirts through the right side. And Darren Davis has been unstoppable in this first quarter.
Well, he needs help from the big boys up front and his fullback, Chris Sarkin, but they're getting it done right now. Marvin Graves, Darren Davis, Chris Sarkin, the fullback, the receiving crew, Marsh, he's having a big game already. Gulliford, Farthing, and Bendros at the other wide receiver. And an offensive line that doesn't get enough credit. O'Day, Kaminsky, and Green at the left guard. Fairbrother playing in place of Terry, and Mikowski at the right tackle.
Darren Davis has the longest run of the year for Saskatchewan, 69 yards. He has 83 in the game, and whoops, little false start there as Albert Reese jumps the gun.
Offside. Edmonton number 95. Still first down.
Ball's at the Eskimo 8. Grant Carter digging in. It's 1st and 5. 4 receivers left. They'll go to Davis. And this time he's not going anywhere. Reese had him wrapped up.
Well, sometimes when you go to the well too often, it's going to be empty. And on this case, it's just a matter of Gene Mikulski, the right tackle. He has got to get the block on him right there. He's right on the bottom of your screen. He's got to get him. What happens? Reese refuses to be blocked inside, plays to the outside. That allows him to shut down Darren Davis.
So it's a loss of 2. 2nd and 7. Albert Reese was the lineman of the week the last time he faced the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Graves out of the shotgun, throwing for Farthing, incomplete, and punished by Shannon Garrett.
Well, you know what, the ball a little off, a little miscommunication right there. Ball just out of the distance, out of the grasp of Dan Farthing, but it looked like he had the right read, Chris, because Farthing came inside, was sitting on the goal line, just in front of Shannon Garrett. I think that ball a little tighter to him, it would have been a catch and possibly another score for the Roughriders.
Always animated on the bench, Danny Barrett. McCallum in. How about that stat? 1 miss, under 40 yards this year for Paul McCallum. And another one through as the Saskatchewan Roughriders restore their 7-point advantage. So it's been a nice mix for Barrett so far. The strength of Darren Davis on the ground, and Curtis Marsh, the deep threat, has a touchdown catch as we join Mark.
Thank you, Chris. Here's Eskimos President Hugh Campbell. Hugh, big news in the last 24 hours that the CFL has decided on a new commissioner, Michael Lisko. What can you tell us about this young man?
Well, I was very impressed with really 3 of the candidates, but I think that Michael, what he brings to the table, and the reason that that was unanimous, is that he is a double type A guy, marketing. And we feel that that's the place. We feel like we have the product on the field. We have the administration of the league running pretty well. And we're really excited to have this. And I think I just look at it as a building process. We've done an awfully good job there the last couple of years. But it's a place where now we can fly a little higher, go higher. And with the cooperation of all the teams working together, which I think is a very important factor in the league. So I'm pretty proud of what the league has done, but I also look forward to this kind of new era with the new commissioner.
All right, Hugh, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Chris?
Singer Mobley has just fumbled the kickoff, Mark, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders are back on the ball. Ladophius McCalla comes up with it.
Just a nice job of the defenders, the kickoff team, staying in your lanes. Your coach teaches you, your special team coach, do not go out of your lanes. Look at him coming down in a wave. That's a nice job. And then when you see the ball carrier, wrap him up. One guy gets a hand on the ball, and as you say, a lot of times when you swat at that football, good things will happen.
George White looked like he jarred it loose. What a season White has had. And the Saskatchewan Roughriders go right back to work on offense. They've had a 68-yard touchdown drive and a 65-yard field goal drive. Quick hitter to Marsh inside. A lot of traffic there, and Grant Carter stops it before it gets going.
And a nice job of Grant Carter recognizing that right there, getting over and spreading from the linebacker. He's a middle linebacker. I mean, he comes all over. This is just a quick hitch pass. Try and get some blocking. You see the offensive lineman coming over to help. But a nice job of 47, Grant Carter, having none of that and going underneath to tackle a very dangerous Curtis Marsh.
Call it no gain, and 2nd and 10. Graves directing traffic in behind. Now rolls right, Terry Ray blitzing, and got a piece of Marvin Graves as he delivered the football incomplete. Well, we've got the top 2 tacklers in the CFL, Chris. I mentioned White. Terry Ray seconded George White.
Well, I'll tell you, initially a great job. Darren Davis knocking the defensive end down, allowing Marvin Graves to get to the outside. But when you're bringing too many guys, you can't possibly pick them all up. Edmonton does a great job of disguising that, bringing Terry Ray from the backside. He comes free, unblocked, and it becomes a foot race. And you tell your quarterback, if you're not sure, keep running. Don't stop, or the backside will get to you. And Terry Ray does a good job on that one.
A little confusion here for Saskatchewan. They were 1 short on the field goal alignment, and they didn't get the play off. The 20-second clock expires, and now Paul McCallum will have to try it from 44 yards instead of 39.
Time count violation. Saskatchewan number 22. Still 3rd down.
But Chris, you gotta like the fact that right now they're having opportunities to come away with points on every time they're touching the football, either through miscues like turnovers like just happened on the kickoff return, but you gotta come away with something positive every time you touch that ball.
You know, based on McCallum's record this year, that 5-yard penalty could jeopardize the field goal attempt, and it does, and Gizmo gets a chance to run it out. Henry Williams and Paul McCallum down first. How do you like that? McCallum makes the tackle after the miss from 44. That's a record for most consecutive games by a position player. Here's Nealon Green and a drop ball by McCorvey, who we talked about off the top. And Kes McCorvey becoming one of the premier receivers in the league, except for that play.
Well, you know, he just recognized it. He's a big, tall receiver. Just finds an opening. Look at that, sitting right underneath the coverage. Gets it, as you say. He wants that one back right now. He looked the ball and just lost concentration at the last second.
You know, Chris, we've seen it with the way Saskatchewan's moved the football and the way Edmonton hasn't, albeit early. Are they distracted by Gizmo's final game? Green's in trouble, and down he goes back at the 10-yard line, and Saskatchewan's really dominating.
Well, you know what? I talked to Demetrius Maxey yesterday, and he was really, coy about the fact, he says, you know what? Everybody's looking at us as just coming into, finishing off the season. He says, you know what? Watch what happens tomorrow. And this guy, look at him come. Demetrius Maxey just never stops. When you play this guy, you better be ready to chin it up, put that chin strap on for 60 minutes.
All-Canadian in 99. That's his 9th sack of the year, which is impressive as an interior lineman.
All 5 of them.
Well, absolutely, Chris. A lot of the times those interior guys are getting double-teamed either by the center guard or guard tackle.
Gulliford back, awaiting Sean Fleming's towering punt. That is 47. Gulliford bounces off. And finally stopped at the Eskimo 51. Charles Asman, the long snapper, got down first. Impressive start for Marvin Graves. Just back to the issue, though, can it be a distraction when one player is such a focus for a team on a game like today?
You know what, I think they're so tight right now. They want to do such great things to be part of it. They're all thinking, they're all, excited to be part of Giz's send-off, if you would. But I think right now, they may be just a little overconfident, maybe overlook Saskatchewan.
Darren Davis up the middle. Davis still spinning. What a run by Davis, and he rodeos his way down to the 36.
Well, I tell you what, Chris, this rookie out of Iowa State is just impressive. The fact that he keeps spinning, he's so low to the ground. I mean, he's only 5'8", 190 pounds, but watch as he goes there. I mean, he finds a hole. What a nice job. Andrew Green getting over a little bit of a clothesline on Grant Carter, but look at the spin. Look at the effort. Throwing guys down, refusing to be brought down.
6 carries, 96 yards. We still have nearly 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Back to Davis. Cuts away from one. Look out! Darren Davis finally dragged down at the 7-yard line. 30 more. What a remarkable quarter for the running back of the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
I tell you what, Darren Davis is dead in his tracks. Albert Reese and Robert Brown, number 92, have him. They should never let him get through. But we talked about him the play before. This man, this youngster, does not want to be brought down. He says, if you're going to tackle me, Chris, you better bring a lot of your friends with you. And boy, he's having a game right now. Look at him break the tackles.
He averaged 5.6 yards per carry coming in. Only Sean Millington had more. Graves looked one way, then the other. Marsh just fails to pull it in.
Marsh kind of letting Marvin Graves know, hey, it's my bag on that, my mistake. But again, working one-on-one against one of the premier cover guys, number 23, Shannon Garrett of the Eskimos. The ball thrown again past the outstretched hands of Curtis Marsh, but again, only where Curtis Marsh has a chance to catch it, and that eliminates the possibility of Garrett having an interception.
There's Henry Burris wearing the headset today. It's 2nd and goal from the 8 for Marvin Graves. Eskimos rush on into the end zone, and Chris Hardy, the safety, got over to knock it down out of the hands of Demetrius Bendros.
Chris Hardy is having a breakout season. You know, he's got 2 interceptions, returned one for 52 yards last week, but this is just an excellent job of breaking, reacting to the ball in the air. Right at the beginning of the play, I mean, Demetrius Bendros has a couple steps on him. Chris Hardy makes up that ground when the ball leaves, does a nice job of getting his hand on that and knocking that ball down. 2
interceptions last week. He was the Defensive Player of the Week in the Canadian Football League. And Paul McCallum back on to attempt a field goal from 15 yards out.
And Chris, you know, one of the things you got to like about Chris Hardy, you're talking to Don Matthews, he says, you know what, here's a guy back there coming back from an injury, missed a couple games, 4 games with an ankle injury, but he's seeing things so well back there right now. And then when you, as a unit, when you know your safety's going to be in the right spot, you can really start taking chances because you know where he's going to be. There's no confusion. Everybody's on the same page. There's that comfort level back there, and he's really doing a fine job right now.
An important stand by the Eskimos, who now have given up just 3 points on the last 2 opportunities for Saskatchewan down deep in the Edmonton zone.
You know what? They are very fortunate, but they're going to ask themselves, hey, who is Darren Davis and what is he doing to us? Because I tell you what, he is running the ball at will through these guys right now. You know what, playing against that guy and having the opportunity during my 16-year career, every time you saw him and the ball going toward him, you just started to shudder because you knew what he could do to your team.
Here's Gizmo. He ran by a couple. One of his own men got a piece of him. Gizmo finally down at the 38, and the crowd really revved up after that run.
Well, the Giz does it all. Well, I tell you, he just knows how to excite a crowd, and if anybody can bring his team up, it's this guy, because every time he touches it, and I love the fact that he doesn't seem to age. I mean, when Willie Pless says, you know, I played with him in 1991, and I think he was 35 at that time. So how old really is the Giz?
He had to run through Grant Carter along the way that time. Now Nealon Green's got to get the Eskimo offense sorted out, coming off 2 consecutive brilliant weeks. Inside Mark Nora, up to the 43, close to 5. Nealon Green, one of the many who have been inspired by Henry Gizmo Williams.
You think a guy like that, when just doing punt returns, doesn't know, you know, a lot about quarterbacking, but it's more mental than anything. Just learn how to deal with pressure on the field, off the field, and learn how to address the media and things like that, and learning what it takes to get to how he got 2 rings, and that's working hard in the off season.
Here's Green dumping it off outside. Terry Vaughn turns it upfield and into Saskatchewan territory, and that's a common theme whenever you hear somebody talking about Gizmo Williams, the work ethic. It's a guy that likes to have fun, but nobody works harder at his craft.
Absolutely, Chris, and I tell you what, he is the man, and he deserves every accolade that he is getting today.
It's the end of the first quarter at Commonwealth Stadium, and the Eskimos find themselves in an early hole. That 100 126 yards by Davis. Already a season high for Saskatchewan as we get set to start the second quarter.
What's up here, baby?
What's up, baby?
Looked right, now goes left. Nigel Williams has the catch and immediately dropped by McCalla.
You know, I tell you what, Gary Echeverry is doing a wonderful job, you know, disguising the defense right now, because everybody always talks about Saskatchewan and how they bring everybody all the time. They've only got 4 guys there this time. Nealon Green's used to having everybody come after him, and he knows that if he does that, he's going to get a lot of one-on-one coverage downfield. They're mixing it up right now, making Nealon hold on to the football.
There's Gary Echeverry. 2nd and 4. Give to Nora, driven back, not going to get there. And another fine stand. Aaron Collins and Demetrius Maxey, the veterans in that defensive scheme, make the tackle.
Let's talk about this linebacking crew. Andrew Henry, Collins, and George White. Last week, these 3 linebackers accounted for
Saskatchewan, number 72. First down.
26 tackles. Unbelievable. Colin Scribner getting the call. He alternates with Napastuk, and they're at the defensive tackle position. But boy, these guys can fly. They're always around the football, and of course, Demetrius Maxey, providing that push in the middle.
Costly penalty, however, and it does give Edmonton a first down. Aaron Collins, a veteran out of linebacker U, Penn State. Quiet start for Green. First down. Lots of time. Green may run it. Nealon Green stepping out at the first down step. And we know how well he can run. And he was never better in that department than last year in a 180-yard romp against Saskatchewan.
Well, but I'll tell you what you gotta like. Look at the protection first up. Look at that line of protection. That allows Nealon to get to the outside. But why does he have so much protection? His offensive line. Why can't he throw the football though, Chris? Because excellent coverage by that all-rookie secondary of the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
First down, handoff, Nora, and McCalla. Check that, White making the tackle. Should mention George White getting a lot of attention with those 95 league-leading tackles. And the Denver Broncos are here scouting him in particular today.
Well, he just had an outstanding campaign. Mark Nora coming right in your living room right there. George White making the tackle. I mean, these guys will not abandon the run game. That's one of the things of winning football teams. Tradition is we know we have to run it in this. Start getting into the cold weather, and Edmonton's one of those clubs that will stay with it.
2nd and 4. Back to Nora, left side, and Aaron Collins drags him down at the 20-yard line, and he will be a yard short of the first down.
Just a nice job again of Aaron Collins. We've called him to play before. Just coming into your screen. He's right there. All he does is he beats the guard. Head slap, whatever you got to do, shoulder swat, get in the backfield, does a nice job, and as you say, stops him 3rd and short.
Looks like the Eskimos are going to go for it, 3rd and 1. From the 20, Sean Daniels, the former Rough Rider, follows the big lineman for first.
Well, Groenwegen, Cunningham, Morris, Princeton, and Beaton, and I got to mention them all because they all get off the line of scrimmage and move that rugby-style scrum. They just go right off. Now watch them move. Their feet are going. Nobody touches Sean Daniels 2 yards past the first down marker.
Well, we're talking about Groenwegen breaking Roger Aldag's record. There was one of the all-time greats.
Oh, absolutely. One of the toughest guys to ever play this game.
First down, Green hands it off inside, and Nora's down to the 6.
Now, see, this is a smart play right now because the linebackers are playing so tight. Just get it. If you can find any kind of a seam, you're going to bust it. Right now, they're staying with Mark Nora. He's a big guy himself. You can see there's Groenwegen coming in. Look at hat on a hat. First guy that comes across to make contact is linebacker Andrew Henry, but not before again. Mark Nora picks up 9 yards.
Big man on the line doing the job, and Nora got 9. 2nd and 1 from the Saskatchewan 6. Daniels down near the goal line, and a first down for the Eskimos.
Well, so far this game, Chris, what we've seen is an exhibition on both sides of the ball of how to run the football. Boy, a wonderful job. You see Chris Morris, number 60 right there. I mean, they just get movement. Tim Princeton, 53, and the feeder driving on the big man, Sean Daniels, 235 pounds, refusing to be brought down until he picks up that first down.
Ball just outside the 1. 1st and goal. Eskimos, 3rd ranked on the ground this year. They stick to it. Touchdown. Mark Nora.
Well, Chris, aside from the one pass to Terry Vaughn at the end of the first quarter on this drive, it has been strictly running the football all the way down the football field and, you know, culminating in a touchdown dive by Mark Nora. But what a wonderful display of offensive line domination on that D-line and staying with it, pounding it out right now. And when you've got 2 big backs like Nora and Daniels, you're going to wear out the defense pretty good.
That has been an Achilles heel for Saskatchewan this year. 7th against the run. Fleming adds the extra point. Just over 5 minutes into the 2nd quarter. It's a 3-point game in Edmonton. Mark Nora hits the end zone for the 4th time this year on an impressive ground attack by the Eskimos.
Oh, absolutely, domination. Watch these 2 guys here. They just cave in the line and makes it one-on-one. And Mark Nora, the big guy, he refuses to be brought down. You can see the safety, McDavid, trying to stop him, but he'll have none of it as Nora gets into the end zone.
Ball kicked downfield, and it's Bendras. He's returned 1 this year, but not there. Big hit by Shannon Garrett, the former Saskatchewan Roughrider. Let's join Mark Lee.
Chris, a big hole to be filled on this Eskimo defense. A.J. Gass has come in to replace the Eskimos' leading tackler. Terry Ray has been taken to the Eskimo locker room. He has a leg injury, and the early diagnosis is a pulled thigh muscle. We'll have more on him later, but he's out for the time being.
Well, Gass missed 11 games with a blood clot problem in his hand. He's wearing a protective shell on that hand. So they do have an experienced replacement, but Ray's a key guy, and here's Davis. And both teams enjoying success on the ground.
Well, Andrew Green, he actually lost his shoe on that one, number 68, the left guard. I mean, these guys, these big hoggies on both sides are getting after it today, and they just get a push. A nice job just getting down. They pull number 67, Dan Comiskey, around the corner, and he does the rest. Darren Davis just look at him. He's just ducking and diving and just finding any kind of seam, but always going north and south, and picking up great yardage on first down.
I think Andrew's going to need some help there.
It's not a pretty sight when the big man got to put their shoes on, and you got those jerseys on so tight you can hardly breathe.
He's ready to go. So A.J. Gass is on the hot seat right now. The Eskimos have to dig in against this ground attack of the Roughriders. Davis again, and this time stopped up short. 2nd and 1, and he didn't get to the first down stick, and Gass was in the middle of it.
Well, Gass and big Ben Williams played 94, 95 here in Shreveport, but boy, he just comes through there. Look at A.J. Gass, his use number 77, and Ben Williams. That's a nice job. Boy, good fill. Just comes in there right now and makes the play. That's how you react as a linebacker. Here's a guy that doesn't get a lot of opportunities to play, Chris, but making the most of it right now.
And now, for the first time today, Gizmo Williams anticipates a punt return. And the crowd here again getting excited. McCallum's been told to kick away. Here's Gizmo from his 30. Gizmo going across field. 40. Can't turn the corner. Dwayne Dimitrition was there to make sure he couldn't cut it upfield. But you just have a feeling he might get one today.
he obviously has pulled something. You can see him kind of limping, just trying to get to the sideline right there. And, you know, boy, you don't want to see that, especially after we saw him warm up. The stuff he did, the stairs. He was doing striders on the track outside today.
Yeah, if he just pulled a muscle, it's not for a lack of warm-up. Green outside. McCorvey surrounded and dropped at the 48. 6 yards for Kes McCorvey.
Nice job of Green, just sitting back there, throwing to Kes McCorvey, just catching and letting him do the rest. But you got to be impressed. One of the things that Danny Barrett has going for him on his defense right now, he's really improved the team speed on there. And boy, as soon as he catches the football, look at all the white jerseys getting in there to bring Kes McCorvey down.
2nd and 5 for the Eskimos offense. Green, quick hitter, Terry Vaughn, and Vaughn has another Edmonton first down.
Well, one of the things is, you know, we know Saskatchewan plays so much man covered, but they just break it off right there. He just finds the opening in the zone that time, right in front of the safety, McDavid. Nice throw, nice read by Nealon Green, getting the ball right to him right now. It's going to come right into your screen. Boom, right between the defenders right there. You see Travis Smith, 48, wraps him up, but not before he picks up a nice gain.
Vaughn's best game of the year came against Saskatchewan. Here's Mark Nora, big hole, and the UBC product thundering downfield to the 23-yard line.
Well, Mark Nora, 5'11", 230, but used to be on the track team at UBC, so you know he's got some wheels when he gets in the open. But again, another example of just giving him a little seam at the point of attack. 64, what a job right there. Rick Cunningham opening up a hole between him and Chris Morris, and Nora does the rest to get to the outside.
Well, much talked about that he decided to sign here because they wanted him as a tailback. That's what he wanted to be. Every other team that talked to Mark Nora referred to the possibility of being a fullback, but this is what he wants to do, and he's chewing up the yards against the Saskatchewan defense.
Well, he's very similar to the big Sean Millington out of BC. I mean, they run very similar styles. They get faster when they get in the open. They're not afraid to get hit. They'll bust tackles. And Nora's just, and another thing they do, they get stronger as the game goes on. And you can see what's going to happen. He's going to start wearing these guys out after they have to keep coming up. Antoine Hunter on that play. And these are secondary guys who don't want to come up and tackle the big guy time after time.
Chris, last week Saskatchewan gave up 125 yards to Millington and 120 to Drummond. Check that 2 weeks ago. Last week it was 145 yards for Pringle. So they can be beaten on the ground. And the Eskimos trying to beat that drum. That will be close to a first down, but short.
Well, I tell you, one of the biggest things is you have to take away the running game of Edmonton. If they're going to beat you, make them throw the football. But right now, Edmonton's really having their way running the football. They're getting a good seam, and Mark Nora's not getting hit until he's at least picked up 5 yards.
How about this for confidence? The Eskimos going for it again, 3rd and 1. This is a longer one than the last one. Daniels. And the Roughriders responded quickly. Maxey there. This may require a measurement.
Well, they're going to call a measurement, but good penetration by Maxey in the interior of that Saskatchewan defensive line, tackling the big guy, Sean Daniels, and may be short, but his momentum may have carried him over for a first down.
Hard to get a read. There was a lack of conviction on either side about whether or not Daniels got it.
Well, the only thing that might help him is you see as he gets stuck there tackled, he falls over. And as he falls over, he falls forward and picks up just the amount he needed to keep that drive alive. Just as he's going. See that last little bit of leg push, Chris? That got him across the first down mark.
Eskimos trying to erase a 3-point Saskatchewan lead. Green hands off to Nora, who tripped as he hit the line of scrimmage. And we'll join Mark Lee.
Chris, the Gizmo has a bruised thigh. He was hit on the thigh with a helmet on that last return. He's received some medication, has been trying to limber up on the sidelines, and the Eskimo medical staff thinks he'll be able to continue in the football game.
Well, I don't think you can keep him out of it. He knows the significance of this game, and there's no way, that he's going to allow himself to be pulled from this game.
2nd and 11, a loss of 1 by Nora. Green into the end zone, incomplete. Looking for Terry Vaughn. Well covered that time by Antoine Hunter.
And the nice thing that, Saskatchewan's going to benefit this year and more so next year, their young secondary, all rookies, we talked about them, all first-year guys back there. They've been thrown in a lot of man-covered schemes the whole year. That's only going to make them better players. They're going to really learn how to take on that receiver, play them, learn things on, and fire.
A lot of talk that so many of these players have never played beyond 12 games in a football season. You think that's a factor now with such a young team?
You know what? That could be a factor because, like you say, they come from college, they play 10 games. Then they go through that little lull up here in the CFL or wherever they play because they'll have that 2 to 4 game period where they're saying we're not used to playing. But then as you get closer to the playoffs, the energy comes back again.
Block kick. I don't know why Saskatchewan doesn't want to get on the ball. And now McCalla, looked like McCalla got a piece of it.
Yards, Edmonton number 7, first down.
That's why Saskatchewan didn't want to get on the ball. So, the Roughriders preserve their lead on the blocked field goal. There's Ladafius McCullough, who just had the field goal block.
Well, he comes free. Nobody blocks him right there, and you can't let a guy like that come on a block right now. If you got a quick kicker, great. You got to spread him out right now. They try to penetrate the interior of the line. Nobody picks up. Ladafius McCullough, and boom, another big play
for you, baby. We bring it back home.
Just heard the coaching staff tell him to get on that ball because Sean Fleming could have got on that football for Edmonton.
Absolutely.
From the 15, a rocket to Bendros, and look at the speed of Bendros taking off. Chris Hardy saves a touchdown for Edmonton. Boy, they have speed on the outside with Curtis Marsh and Bendros, and that was in evidence there. The only 100-yard game for Demetrius Bendros came against Edmonton. He got 48 there to get Saskatchewan some breathing room and put them in a threatening position here late in the first half.
What a throw, though, a rifle. I mean, he's sitting on the short side. He throws all the way across the field, Chris, wide side where he's got one-on-one coverage by Jerome Peterson, and then his speed just takes him the rest of the way.
Marvin Graves, only 8 passes so far, 4 completions, 95 yards, and a touchdown. From the Edmonton 48, the fake, and they're going to air it out for Marsh. Step for step was Jerome Peterson. Marsh won an earlier battle in that matchup. This time it was Peterson. As we go back and rejoin Mark Lee.
Chris, an update from the Edmonton sick bay. Linebacker Terry Ray has a strained quadricep muscle. He is still in the Edmonton locker room and now out of his equipment. His return is doubtful, so A.J. Gass will have to fill his shoes.
Well, the Eskimos still have some designs on first, but you don't want to push anything with the playoff just around the corner. 2nd and 10. Graves fails to hook up with Marsh on the opposite side. A.J. Gass forcing the play.
Absolutely, Chris. Late blitz. A.J. Gass comes, and that forces the ball. You can see one-on-one coverage right there working against Dwight Henry. Little swat, trying to pull him back. But you know what? What a nice job by Curtis Marsh to put himself in a situation where only he can catch the football. He puts the defender behind him when he comes back like that. It's a great job of reacting to it. But as you say, A.J. Gass, number 77, on the linebacking blitz, forced Marvin Graves to throw that football way before he wanted to.
Gizmo Williams is not in this time, so he's still nursing the leg. Terry Vaughn takes his place. McCallum angling it, but not a great punt by Paul McCallum. And they are unable to pin Edmonton deep, and you can see the frustration on the Saskatchewan punter. Should be an historic night in BC. Here's Nealon Green, and he's got Kes McCorby, and McCorby with lots of running room down into the Saskatchewan zone. Still over 2 minutes to go here in the first half. And the Eskimos back into Green Rider territory.
I tell you what, if you're sitting at home and you're watching this game and you like offense, boy, you're in for a treat today, because it doesn't matter who's running the show, either Edmonton or Saskatchewan, they're making things happen out there. Just a little throw outside, you can see McCorby reaches back, grabs the football, takes it in front of George White, and then it becomes a foot race, and Andrew Henry has to come over and put the finishing touches on him.
As Don Matthews saying yesterday, he's never seen a slot run the out pattern in this league like Kes McCorby. Now Nora back inside.
You know what, Chris, he has said, and I mean, when you think about it, he's had some great slot backs. I mean, most recently, Daryl Mitchell. But I mean, he said he's the best route runner at that position that he's ever seen in his coaching. I mean, that's high marks.
Second down.
There's Gizmo for the time being, a spectator. And we can only hope we have not seen him run back his last punt. 2nd and 8. Green looks the other way and takes off. Sliding near a first down.
Again, a situation where the secondary of Saskatchewan doing an excellent job of covering man-on-man, not letting anybody come free. But the offensive line of Edmonton allowing Neil Green to sit back there. Look, he's looking to left. He's trying to throw. He looks to the right. Can't find anybody. Decides, hey, I'm not getting a chance to throw. One of the things he's learned, Chris, as a quarterback, is he's not forcing things anymore. If he can't find anything to throw, he tucks it and he runs.
140 yards against Calgary a couple of weeks ago. And they started employing the quarterback draw, and Don Matthews felt even if they didn't use it today, Saskatchewan's got to be thinking about it.
Oh, absolutely.
It is a first down, and Green out of the gun, pressure on, steps up, and down he goes, back at the 36-yard line. And Demetrius Maxey having a strong first half.
Well, Demetrius Maxey is a benefactor of this guy, Travis Smith, number 48, who comes on the blitz. He forces Nealon to pull the ball back down. You see him coming right there, around the corner now. He forces him up, and there he is, number 91, as you say, Demetrius Maxey, with his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
It's double figures once again. He had 11 sacks last year. And we're into the final minute. 2nd and 12 for Green. Lots of time. There's an injured Eskimo down. Green still waiting. Nobody was home, so he'll take off, and he won't get to the first down stick. And that is Leo Groenwagen.
Oh, and you've never...
The Iron Man.
I'm telling you. That's something you rarely see. The big man, number 59, down like he was shot out of the stands. Gets up and he runs off, as you say. What an Ironman, playing in the middle of that line, either at the guard as he did earlier in his career, at center now. Never missing a game in 14 seasons. That's unbelievable.
So Sean Fleming comes in to try and lock this game at 13s. Letting the clock run down. 34-yard attempt. Flag down. Kick is good, and we'll wait for the flag.
Well, you can only hope that Saskatchewan didn't jump offside on this play. And Crawley's saying they did it because that'll give Edmonton another crack at offense. That's a crucial mistake.
Now 10 seconds left, though. Do you just take the points at this
Well, remember,
stage?
you still have a timeout. Run one play. If you don't get it, call a timeout. Then you can, then you can kick a field goal.
Now Don Matthews is not going to take points off the board with 10 seconds to go. And so they will decline the penalty.
You know, that might be the smart move, as you say, Chris. They've got points. It's in the bag already.
See, this time Don Matthews going conservative. You're the live on the edge kind of guy.
Yeah, but my neck is never in the noose.
10 seconds, probably not worth it. It might have been a tougher decision inside the 20.
Well, absolutely. You see Saskatchewan just going to kill the clock. They got Vendross behind Marvin Graves just in case of fumble.
Well, an interesting first half. In fact, based on some of the big numbers put up by Darren Davis and The Eskimos, you'd expect more than 13 points apiece.
Well, more than that, the first half has just flown by for us. I mean, it's just being offense, both sides of the ball moving it. Great plays both sides. We're seeing the running backs having great starts. We're seeing receivers making nice catches. Both quarterbacks are doing okay. Hey, I tell you what, come back. Second half's gonna be great.
So Marvin Graves looks solid in relief of the injured Henry Burris, and there's A.J. Gass relieving Terry Ray. And he was a factor in the first half as we join Mark. In the meantime, it's Jerome Peterson returning the kickoff for the Eskimos, and he squirts through for a 10 extra yards to the 38.
Well, he kind of squirted through there thinking he was going to get hit, and he kept going before anybody touched him. As we look at the first half stats, and, I mean, Edmonton a little advantage in the first downs, yards passing a little advantage, yards rushing starting to even out. Saskatchewan with a big lead early rushing the ball, but Edmonton with Mark Doran Daniels coming back strong in that department. But Edmonton still owning the time of possession by 5 minutes.
There are Nealon Green's numbers. And Edmonton started to take over as the second quarter wore on. Green quickly, great catch by Terry Vaughn, who had 3 in the first half, has his 4th of the game, and is out near the midfield stripe.
Well, just a nice job of putting 3 receivers wide side. He just runs Nate Terry off, comes back to the football, nifty little duck inside move, and then again surrounded by the rest of the secondary, but not before he picks up a first down.
Terry Vaughn, 2 more catches will give him a career high 82 for the year. First down from the Edmonton 54, and here's Nora. Andrew Henry getting into the pile to limit the gain. Napastuck is there.
Well, that was an audible. That was a check. You see, he got up to the line of scrimmage. You saw what Saskatchewan did. Changed the play.
Let's join Mark Lee.
Chris, I just talked to the Gizmo. He says that the hip flexor is a problem right now, but he's going to stay in equipment and hope it settles down. He's not ruling out the fact that he might be able to come back, but he said it was the hard natural turf here that caused the upper part of his thigh and hip flexor to be bruised.
I just have a feeling we're going to see him one more time. Terry Vaughn again, nice grab, but Vaughn short of a first down at the Saskatchewan 50. It'll be 3rd and close to 5.
The whole 5 of them.
Just the second punt for Fleming, who boomed that first one.
That just shows you how much the offenses are on the field when he's only punted once in the first half.
Almost got through and tipped that one. And Gulliford's going to let it bounce, and he didn't get a Saskatchewan roll into the end zone, but does get the no yards. I think he was ready to give up a single point there and get better field position. Instead, Saskatchewan will start deep. Saskatchewan starts deep in their own zone, and they'll hand it off to Davis, bounces off the pile, and he may run for a while now. Darren Davis past Jerome Peterson. Chris Hardy has to track him down at the 52-yard line.
This is unbelievable. I mean, this is a determined young man, Darren Davis. He just does not, I mean, he keeps going. We talked about the pinball early in his career. Take a look at this. He goes to the left, he hits, bounces back out, stutter steps. Oh, baby, better pull your pants back up. Gets to the outside. Now it becomes, look at Marsh down there, getting a block on Peterson, shifting the ball to the opposite of the attacker, and keeping and going. I tell you, he is having a career day, this Darren Davis.
45 yards for Davis there. First down up at the 52. They give it back to Davis, who barely had time to catch his breath, but he'll catch 10 more. We did a game last year, Chris, between these two teams, and it was Sean Millington who was, or was it a year earlier, just ran all over Saskatchewan.
Absolutely, the other way. And right now, Saskatchewan, you talked about the importance of a running game, and boy, when it works, and we heard Don Matthews talk about it at halftime with Mark Lee about, you know, they're giving us different formations, and we haven't been able to adjust defensively as far as stopping the running game. Well, They're also missing Terry Ray, their leading tackler, and that may have somewhat of an effect there, Chris.
He is 80 yards short of the single game Saskatchewan Roughrider record. You know who has that record. George Reed in 1965. 268 yards. But we're early in the third quarter. And Graves will plunge for the first down. You heard Don Matthews talk about the new look the Rough Riders had given the Eskimos, and they haven't completely adjusted to what the Riders are doing.
Well, they're just executing right now. They're getting everybody where they want to, and that means take the defender where he wants to go. Create a seam, as we see the great surge for the quarterback sneak to get the first down yardage. But on the running plays, I mean, they're creating openings. But Darren Davis, when he is stopped, he's still bouncing back a la pinball and finding openings and really exploiting the Edmonton defense.
Graves has not had to go to the air much. He will now. Little pump, steps up. No, he'll take off. And he was just tripped up at the 42-yard line. Ben Williams got enough of him to limit the damage to 5.
And I'll tell you what, it's a good thing that Ben Williams made that play, but Marvin Graves kind of hesitated. He still wanted to throw the football. I see a pump fake right there. He almost wants to throw it again. Last second decides to run the football. Had he pulled it down earlier, there was a huge area for him to take off in.
Let's face it, he's not Henry Burris, but he's the same type. Drop back passer, but with some running ability. 2nd and 5, and some early motion, and the penalty flags fly. Jake Ireland to sort it out.
Offside. Edmonton number 27, still 2nd down.
It is Mobley.
Well, you know, you talked about a guy just coming from the top right there. Just a little up, but look at that. Look at Farthing, number 10. Even though he knows he's offside, protecting the quarterback, chop him. You gotta like that. Nice job, Mr. Farthing.
Now it's 2nd down again, 2nd and inches. You wonder if Danny Barrett might use this as a free play at the 38-yard line. Well, they'll just push it ahead, get a fresh set of downs. By the way, we talked about Davis with 188 yards rushing. The CFL single season best is 199 by Mike Pringle against the BC Lions.
Well, I think that's in jeopardy today, the way this kid is running the football right now. But you see Henry Burser, number 1, sending the calls in. And there's his numbers for the year, 30 touchdowns, 25 interceptions. And, you know, had he played, Chris, he was on the verge of shattering Ken Austin, another great quarterback's touchdown mark.
Only Ken Austin had thrown for more than 30 touchdowns in a year for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Shotgun. Graves rolling left, throwing complete. And Demetrius Bendros has another catch to the 30, and that's a pickup of 6.
Well, nice job of doing a little roll. He sat in the pocket sometimes. Now he's doing a little bit of Nealon Green by getting to the outside right there. A good job of the guard allowing him to get to the outside, to set up and throw the football. Just a little toss to Bendros right over the middle. You see Shannon Garrett, 23, coming in with the stop. But again, nice first down production. They got 6 yards in that. That opens up your whole play.
In that playoff race, Saskatchewan even had to play in the preseason against Willie Putz in his final game. And there's a drop ball, and it's loose on the ground, and I think the Eskimos got on it. What a battle down there, and yes, the green and gold have the football.
Just a missed snap. Takes his eyes off the ball, loses control of the football. Boy, I tell you what, you just don't like to see this happen. You want to make sure you don't give Edmonton any life at all.
On the Saskatchewan bench about that fumble call, they believe the ball was underneath the leg of one of the Eskimo players, that Davis actually got it back. They thought it was an early call.
Hard to figure out who actually got their mitts on the ball by the end of it, but the Eskimos have it. Nealon Green's in trouble, and down he goes, swarmed at the 24-yard line.
Well, Arkal Trulak, number 43, with the sack, but I tell you what, this is a real inspired defensive performance by the Rough Rider defense. We saw them 2 weeks ago against BC, and as you say, Sean Millington and Drummond had their way with this defense. Today, this is a different squad out there right now.
And at least in the passing department, Nealon Green has not been able to maintain the momentum of the last 2 weeks.
But they've changed it up. They've changed it up. They're not sitting there and giving them the same thing. We know they like to bring a lot of blitzes. They're changing it up every time on Nealon Green.
2nd and 18 from the Edmonton 25. Green in trouble again. Shook Trulock. Still going, and now pounded right back at the line of scrimmage. And we've got a flag downfield, and Terry Vaughn and George White were in a heated battle. In fact, there's a few pieces of nylon on the Eskimo turf.
Absolutely, and one of them was thrown earlier, Chris.
Illegal contact against an eligible receiver, Saskatchewan number 38. Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Saskatchewan number 38. First down.
Wow. George White, the rookie.
And Chris, 30 yards.
And remember back to his first year, Chris, he had that breakout debut. 3
Right
sacks.
up there, you can see right there the shot, Chris.
But Arkel Trulock missed most of his first year with a concussion problem, and he gets helped off. George White committing 30 yards worth of penalties.
And he's one of those guys that had such promise. I mean, I remember him coming in there. It was the last game for Bobby Jurison. And they had such wonderful things to happen from this guy. 3 sacks his first game and really struggled since.
Mark Nora up the middle, about 3. Well, remember, Don Matthews was coaching that first game for Toronto. He brought Jurison into play, and Trulock was the story of the game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a nightmare if you're Bobby Jurison, because you know what? Didn't feel that the situation was handled properly. You know, he was a lifer. He wanted to stay in the, you know, in the green and white. He wanted to be a Rough Rider for the rest of his career. So he was very disappointed to be let go. Still felt he had a couple years left to play, but boy, I tell you, sometimes we forget this is a game, but it really is a business.
2nd and 7 for the Eskimos. Nealon Green finds Terry Vaughn again. He took a lick, but Vaughn gets up and has some words to let the Saskatchewan Roughriders know no damage done. Here's Mark.
Chris, Arkel Trulock took a shot from a helmet in the jaw. He was knocked woozy, but the training staff still looking at him now on the bench. Don't think it was a concussion, but they're going to continue to assess him here while the defense stays on the field.
Watch to see if Trulock can come back. Terry Vaughn has 6 catches, so now he has a new career high. 82 on the season. He's got over 1,000 yards for the 6th consecutive year. And here's Green rolling out, looking downfield for McCorby. He's got it. Out of bounds at the 11.
Well, what a nice job. Little play action pass. Nealon Green gets to the outside and throws a strike to McCorby, who just goes inside and back to the corner. Just going to work inside, come back to the corner, working against Nate Terry. Then it becomes a speed thing. He's got to step on him, but look where the ball is thrown. Right on the money, over the right shoulder. Just a wonderful throw from Nealon Green, but it all starts with the play action. The whole defense comes inside and allows Nealon Green to get to the outside to have time to throw that ball.
They can make a first down without scoring. Mark Nora, right side, nothing doing. Drilled back by Chance McCarty and company.
Chance McCarty getting his first chance to play today, really making a name for himself out there, refusing to be blocked, fighting from the backside, coming over to wrap up Mark Nora. You know what? Saskatchewan gives up big plays, and that's the one thing that season long has really haunted them. But boy, today, when it comes to the things they're doing, for the most part, Chris, they've done a real good job on kind of limiting Nealon Green as a passer.
Under 5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Eskimos poised to break a 13-13 tie. Green over the middle, incomplete. Off the hand of Nigel Williams, who didn't look like he was expecting it.
Well, he wasn't. He was a last resort throw for Neil Green. But Napastic, I mean, they're doing a lot of nice stuff on the Saskatchewan defense, twisting it around, bringing a line around right there. 38, there's Napastic, 92, right into his field of vision. One of the things you got to do when you got a guy like Neil Green, not allow him to sit there and be comfortable, and if anything, disrupt his throwing lanes. You may not always get to him, but get in the direction he wants to throw the football.
Napastic, a former Edmonton Eskimo draft choice. You know he's revved up, and now Sean Fleming. He's had one blocked, 2 for 3. On the 15 again, McCallum quickly off the corner, but Fleming puts it through. And the Edmonton Eskimos have the lead for the first time today. Exuberance or over exuberance, but Saskatchewan's played with plenty of that today, and that's why they're very much in this. Here's Darren Davis, cuts back again, and he continues to look impressive to the 43-yard line.
Chris, you got to be really excited about the man's ability to go and cut. He is making so many people miss. That's the remarkable thing about watching him run the football right now. It's not like it's all clear running. He's making the defenders miss him and then always going upfield as he does it.
Well, he may still have designs on a 1,000-yard season. Came into the game with 690 yards, 7th in the league. Going back to him on 2nd and a couple, and he tries to force the pile forward, and he may have got there.
Well, that's a nice job of the offensive line, keeping their feet driving, not allowing the defensive line to stymie them. Good push. See Davis right there. This is the first play of the game. I mean, this is how it was all starting. He's really had a game today. Every time he touches that football, it's his ability. Look at the spin. 2 spins. Throwing people down. A man, I mean, he gets hit, comes back, bounces. He will not be denied. So he takes for another big shot. He's doing all of this. The second and third effort is remarkable.
5'8", 190 pounds out of Iowa State, to just another one of the bright spots for the future of a pretty exciting foundation here in Saskatchewan.
Well, I think if you look and talk to anybody about the Roughrider team, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, one of the things they say is, hey, we know we've got a great offense. We've got so much potential. We've got to do some work on defense, but I tell you what, they're playing well today too, Chris, and I really do believe that Danny Baird has really got a strong foundation to build on.
New coach, new quarterback, Donald Narcisse is gone, and yet this was the number 4 team in yardage, a 3rd down gamble, and Graves plunging forward and then getting drilled back by A.J. Gass, and some of the Riders taking exception to that.
Well, those tempers are going to start to flare right now. I mean, obviously when you're pushing, that's Eric Gilliford, 84, he's in there. Not the biggest man. He's only 5'8", 160. Good surge again, as you say, but giving him a little treatment right now. A.J. Gass kind of hog-tying him, throwing him down, and Eric Gilliford, number 84, going to come in there. The little guy going to protect us. A little like Spike, the little dog.
So it is a 1st down. As the ball noses the Saskatchewan 46. Over the middle, wide open, the fullback, Chris Zarka, lowers the boom and goes over Jerome Peterson for another 1st down into Eskimo territory.
I love this call. Not everybody in the place expects Chris Zarka. Only 11 catches coming into the game to catch the football. Just sneaks out of the backfield. Look at that. Nobody's even seeing him. Mobley does not even worry about him. Lets him go. Doesn't think he's going to be a receiver. Nice throw. Nice job of Marvin Graves getting the football. And the big boy, when he gets his hands on it, he wants to go for as much as he can. He's going to run you over rather than go around you.
They've moved the football in the 3rd quarter. The last time they fumbled down around the 30-yard line. They're moving again. Here's Davis. Couldn't duck under the first wave that time. Albert Reese in on the tackle.
Albert Reese, Carter, and the boys all wrapping them up. Nice job of limiting the game, but again, it starts with Albert Reese, as you say, 95. He's at the point of attack. He's got to be the one to stymie that offensive line to allow his linebackers to come make the play. A lot of times when you got a team like Edmonton's defense, it's built around the play of your linebackers. The defensive line, who don't get a lot of credit, have to be the ones to allow that to happen.
Aaron Davis hit 200 yards with that carry. 2nd and 7. Graves quickly to Gulliford and knocked away from him. Fine play by Shannon Garrett in tight coverage on Eric Gulliford.
Absolutely, Chris. Little dart pass, just swing, quick swing over the middle to Gulliford. He throws the ball in there, but as you say, 23 Shannon Garrett, who Don Matthews says, you know, I got 2 guys on this team right now, and 1 guy hurt, Perry Carter, but the 2 guys still playing, State and Garrett, who he believes are the best one-on-one cover guys back there.
And he wants to continue to impress because Torrey Hunter could be available next week off the injury list for the Eskimos. Well, Terry Vaughn is a reluctant punt returner, but he has to go in with Henry Williams out of this game. From the 5, Vaughn up to the 10. So the Eskimos backed up. Gizmo, a spectator at the moment, late in the 3rd. The import ratio that Don Matthews is playing with gives him the impression that Henry Williams may not be back in the lineup after today.
Well, that's what we were talking about, Chris. They won't admit it, but they said that once Donnie Ashley comes back from the injury, that yes, indeed, he is the heir apparent to Gizmo Williams, and he will play it. But I tell you what, it just feels awful if you're a Gizmo Williams fan. He is so excited about playing here today, and I just hope that somehow we get to see number 2 for at least 1 more play coming back in the 4th quarter. You gotta love this. These guys are great. They're having a great time. They're Saskatchewan fans. Nice helmets.
Those guys have their helmets on, but Ed Hervey lost his lid as McCalla made the tackle. And it's a 1st down for Edmonton up at the 20, and that pass overthrown, and Hervey got decked for his trouble. Just wanted to mention those seats are going to be used tomorrow at McMahon for the big, in some circles, people believe, the Grey Cup preview between Montreal and Calgary.
Well, it's going to be wonderful, but Edmonton might have something to say about that as well. But Andrew Henry, number 11, really starting to come on as a linebacker. He used to play usually a secondary guy playing halfback, getting an opportunity to play weak side linebacker and getting stronger each game he plays.
2nd and 10 for Nealon Green. Here comes the rush. And Green drops the ball. Saskatchewan's got it. Touchdown, Travis Smith.
Well, I'll tell you what, Travis Smith gets the touchdown, but Aaron Collins, 47. What a job of coming around the corner. He just beats Bruce Beaton. He's not going to be denied the quarterback, and he comes around the corner before Nealon Green can set up.
Well, Green was almost too stubborn that time. He wouldn't go down, and he should have ate the football.
Well, just a great job by that man right there, number 47. He's going to come from the top of your screen, just working against Bruce Beaton. But look at that. Actually, that's Tim Princeton who's out there trying to come back outside. But I tell you what a nice job. And again, as you say, the ball pops up. Opportunity for Travis Smith. He takes it in, and a big play for the Roughriders.
McCallum to add the extra point. Well, a turnover got Saskatchewan into some trouble, but a turnover here has put them back into the lead. Middle linebacker Aaron Collins with the big collision.
Well, we got to look at this guy right here, but this is the benefactor, 47, just working against the guard, Tim Princeton. Nealon Green trying to struggle. The ball pops out of his hands, number 48, Travis Smith, a glad recipient of the football. Nice job of coming over, though. Ball, unfortunately, pops up in the air, and he waltzes in the end zone with a big play for the Saskatchewan team.
34,218 suddenly silenced at Commonwealth as the Roughriders regain the lead. Jerome Peterson now on as a kick returner, with Henry Williams apparently out for the rest of the afternoon.
Henry Gizmo Williams, first punt return after he had 3 nice kickoff returns, pulls a hip flexor, and boy, it's a bad thing if you want to see him play, especially on what might be his last day.
Don Matthews told us at the start of the half that you were done for the game with the hip flexor strain. Is there any chance you'll play?
Well, right now it's still it's tightened up more, and I'm getting a little bit more pain in it. So I just want to relax now and see if see what it calmed down. I took a couple tight out threes, so I want to wait and see, but I don't want to go out there if I can't go full speed. And the pace of special team stuff is so fast, you can't go back and you can't be half speed. You got to be full speed the whole time. If I go out there and do something, I probably can wreck it, and it'd be worse than what it is.
That's a tough break for you in your final big game here at Commonwealth.
Oh yeah, but you know what though? As long as the good Lord keep me healthy and I'm able to walk off of here, I'm happy.
All right, Giz, get well soon.
All right.
I was just looking at the Saskatchewan road record. 98, they were 1-8. They did not win a game away from Taylor Field last year. They're in pursuit of their 3rd road win here. Got a long way to go, but another sign of the improvement. McCorvey dropped the ball, but it popped out of play, and he was the last man to touch it.
One of the things you have to be impressed with is the aggressiveness of the Saskatchewan secondary. They're not only trying to make the tackle, as we watch Kez McCorvey comes over, swings to the sideline, little down and out, comes up, they're trying to take the head off. Look at Nate Terry. Now that's dangerous, because if you do miss a guy like McCorvey, he's going to hurt you all the way down the field.
I see why they were arguing. That ball popped out of McCorvey's hands and bounced off a rider out of play, and that's why there was an argument down there. But the Eskimos do maintain possession. It's 2nd and 2 from their 38. Nora has the first down. Well, one of the questions I think about the Saskatchewan defense may have been why play such a high-risk defense this year with such a young team. But I guess that's part of the development they're planning for.
Oh, absolutely, Chris. Testing them under fire, game conditions. You know, you can never really tell what a player is going to do in a game by watching them in practice. A lot of times, guys will play all week in practice, and they look like superstars. Then they come into the game and they have mental cramps, they freeze up, and you don't know what they're going to do, and breakdowns. That'll kill you.
Richie Hall, the secondary coach, guiding the young forces. Here's Green, overthrowing Hervey at the Saskatchewan bench.
But the rush, we talked about it time and time again. This time they're only bringing 4. They're putting pressure on Nealon Green right now, and that's what you got to do. Your secondary loves the big guys up front. These guys up front are getting it done. They're just going, they're working, they're working, they're working. You can see as he goes, he throws it little high, attempting to try and hit Hervey in the sideline, but boy, the unit's looking pretty good right now.
2nd and 10 from the Edmonton 41. Green flushed out. Downfield completion and a first down. Craig Carr, the University of Manitoba product, with the catch.
Craig Carr with his first catch of the season. And what a catch it is, allowing this drive to continue. But again, one of the things Nealon Green gives you with his mobility is his ability to beat the rush. The rush comes, as you say, flushes him out of the corner. But the nice thing, he gets out there, finds his man. Craig Carr comes back to the football. Nice catch.
One of the things we were talking about today was how some teams match up against others. Winnipeg always gives Montreal a rough ride, and Saskatchewan has split 2 games with Edmonton this year, and they seem to match up well against the green and gold. Here's Green, the long out, complete. Look out, Nigel Williams shakes the tackle, and Nat Terry has to nail him out of bounds.
Adolphus McCullough, we talked about the fact these guys are trying to punish the receivers after they make the reception. He's playing short side corner, just going to work against Nigel Williams. The ball goes there. Now look, he tries to wrap him up. Nigel Williams, a big man, 6'4", 205 pounds, will have none of it. Takes it further up the football field.
Williams, who's been kicking himself for a couple of weeks about some drop balls, makes a big catch here to get Edmonton down to the Saskatchewan 34. Green, and that ball knocked down Andrew Henry off the edge.
Well, nice job. You know, this guy started the year with Toronto, Chris, and they didn't want to let him go. They put him on the practice roster. This year, it seems like a lot of teams are feeding off everybody's practice roster and picking up players that can help them. And Andrew Henry is really helping the Saskatchewan defense. He just comes unabated right from the offside, doesn't get picked up. Hands up. You're not going to get to the quarterback. Put your hands up and does a nice job of deflecting that pass.
Less than 10 and a half minutes to go, fourth quarter. A 4-point Saskatchewan lead. 2nd and 10 for Green and the Eskimos. Here comes the rush. He faked and now will run for the first down. Well, that is what Nealon Green brings to the Eskimo offense that's so unique.
Well, he is hard man to bring down, as you say. Nice job initially. Beaton working, doing a nice job blocking right there. Collins coming through, flushing him. Nealon picks it up, little pump fake to try and freeze the defense, and he stiff arms Travis Smith and walks to the first down. Nice job of the quarterback defending himself from the tackler and picking up the necessary yardage.
Haven't seen him take off as much today. First down at the 22. Fakes there, might take off. And does. Down to the 6-yard line where he steps out.
Well, you might have waken him up last time. I tell you what, the first time, the same play they ran 2 plays earlier, the Saskatchewan defense, bringing Andrew Henry off the side. He does it again, but you got to be under control. All he does is duck under Andrew Henry, and then it's a race to the outside, and not many people are going to catch that man, number 15, Nealon Green, in a foot race.
54 yards rushing last week against Toronto. 53 now on the afternoon against Saskatchewan. And the Eskimos are in business. First and goal from the Saskatchewan 6. Everybody out of the backfield. Green looking into the end zone. Shakes Colin Scribner. Now delivery, McCorvey, touchdown. Flag is down, but McCorvey came up with the ball despite a bump.
Illegal contact on the receiver. Saskatchewan number 31. Decline. Touchdown.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a different dance because we've got Gizmo Williams joining the celebration dance.
It's the Hail Gizmo celebration.
Never mind hail to Caesar, it's hail to the Giz.
9 plays, 80 yards. Green to McCorvey for his 14th touchdown of the year. Edmonton back on top. Good game this afternoon, and it's a 3-point Eskimo lead. 8:58 to go, fourth quarter. Green and the Eskimos back on top.
Well, he's caught a pass every week this season, but I mean, they lost contain. You cannot lose contain on Nealon Green. He just finds an opening. He's got the threat of the run, but look at this. This is Giz right there. He comes on the field, and it's, as you say, hail to thee, the worship, to Henry Gizmo Williams.
Even if he won't return another punt today, he's still the focus of attention at Commonwealth Stadium. Well, we're far from done. Demetrius Bendros breaks through the first wave. Look out! Look at him turn it on! He knows he's gone now! Sean Fleming won't catch him! His second kickoff return touchdown of the year!
Is unbelievable. What a great job of blocking at the point of attack. And as you say, Demetrius Bendros with his second touchdown of the year on a kickoff return, but just finding an opening. And then when, as you say, when he gets in the open, he actually points halfway through because he knows nobody's going to catch him.
Did he shift gears?
He gets out here, Chris. Now watch. He's going to point. There he goes. No one's catching him. He takes it all the way in. The last person who has an opportunity, Sean Fleming, is not going to catch that man.
91 yards for Bendros. He had a 96.
Some of the greatest fans in the CFL come from that province of Saskatchewan, and they go everywhere to support that team.
Demetrius Bendras has restored the Saskatchewan lead. 4 points with 8:23 to go. Roughriders don't want the playoff dream to end today at Commonwealth Stadium.
Well, what a way to answer a touchdown with a touchdown. But I mean, they just get going. Watch this guy, 48, Travis Smith with the block. Whoa, he nails him out of the picture right there. That allows him to get the lane. And as you say, when Demetrius Bendras gets some opening, he's pointing, baby, because you're not catching him.
That was Grant Carter that took the receiving end of the Travis Smith block.
Boy, Travis Smith touchdown today. Key block on a kickoff return. He's going to be there an hour early for practice just so he can watch the film.
Sixth lead change of the game. Jerome Peterson. And Peterson gets up to the 35-yard line. Mark?
Chris, I just talked with Demetrius Bendras after his 91-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. He says indeed he was bowing to the gizmo in a praise to the outgoing veteran, but he did tell me it's time for the new generation, and today it's the passing of the torch.
Well, it has been that in Saskatchewan this year.
And here's that play. Mocking, we thought, but obviously a tribute to the great one, the Giz.
End of the Narcisse era in Saskatchewan, and they come up with Curtis Marsh and Demetrius Bendras. Here's Green looking for Terry Vaughn. Look out! And Vaughn still going and just barely upended. A late hit will add on. And Terry Vaughn has 29 yards, and he almost took it to the house.
Well, the secondary, you can see right there, Omar Morgan, number 3, working against Terry Vaughn. You're playing too soft, son. You got to get up there a little bit. You can't let a guy like this, Terry Vaughn, have that much room to operate.
So the Eskimos are marching. First down at the Saskatchewan 31. Green steps up looking for Hervey, who was bumped. No flag. And you'll get a lot of Eskimos looking for one.
Well, it definitely looked like it was going to be one. He definitely was bumped as he crossed the goal line to try and catch that Nealon Green pass. Nate Terry, 29, but again, good pressure from the D-line. 72, Colin Scribner, just a little arm bar underneath Rick Cunningham. The pass duck putting the finishing touches on Nealon Green. Ball thrown a little over Ed Hervey, but just before that pitcher, he was bumped a little bit.
Marcus McDavid, the safety. 2nd and 10 for the Eskimos. Green looking for Terry Vaughn again, and he has another catch and a first down at the 20. Catch of the day.
And let's go right after the new guy. Let's go right after Jackie Mitchell. You know, you got a guy that's been cold, he's been sitting all day. Look at him, turns him out, brings him back to the sideline, gets the separation. That's how you judge a great receiver. His ability to separate from coverage. Boy, I tell you what, Terry Vaughn, that's a great example right there.
And this is why he wanted to sign here in Edmonton as a free agent, to be the go-to guy, and he has assumed that responsibility. First down, Green, wide side, didn't get there. Intended for Ed Hervey.
But Nealon really likes to spread the ball. If it's over the middle, to the right side, to the left sideline on that play, attempting to go to Ed Hervey, but he's mixing it up. He's throwing it around. And now he'll take it off. We saw the last drive. If he has an opportunity, he's going to run with it now.
The one call we haven't seen today, Chris, the quarterback draw that was so effective against Calgary, and I don't believe we've seen it today.
Well, so effective against Toronto last week as well.
2nd and 10 from the 18. He'll deliver again to Vaughn. Near the first down stick, Jackie Mitchell Trying to catch up with Terry Vaughn, who's going to move the sticks one more time.
Well, Terry Vaughn is just having a great game, another great game. This is not like it's just a one-time incident. You know, he just finds his groove, and look at, he just turns him up. They're so intimidated, the defensive backs, of Terry Vaughn taking him deep, that they're playing off him. They're giving him the big cushion, and he's taking advantage of that right now. Gets him to backpedal a little bit and cuts it off, and the ball, as you say, by Nealon Green, right on the money.
Season high 144 yards. Mitchell goes to the sidelines. First and goal from the 8. Green staying to the air, looking into the end zone, and throws it through the end zone. Terry Vaughn, the intended target, was double covered. Vaughn, 9 catches, 144 yards. That's his best game of the year, surpassing his last game against Saskatchewan.
Well, he's hot, and when he's hot, your quarterback's going to keep coming back to him. But, I mean, look at the receiving crew that Nealon Green really has. I mean, when you're talking about Vaughn and McCorvey and Ed Hervey and Nigel Williams, I mean, you got a threat on each side of the football field.
Gary Etcheverry just sent Chance McCarty in with the new defensive alignment. 5 minutes left. Second and goal. A lot of time. Now running out of it. Still on his feet. Nealon Green didn't get there, and he's out at the 2. Arkell Trulak just got enough of the Eskimo quarterback.
Great protection by the offensive line and the fullback, Mark Nora, picking up the blitz, giving Nealon Green all day to try and find a receiver. The secondary of Saskatchewan also doing a good job of not allowing anybody to come free. As a result, Nealon Green has to pick it up, and a great effort by Arkell Trulak, not allowing Nealon Green to get into the end zone.
You know, I mentioned he may have had to eat that football that he coughed up earlier in the third quarter, but there Maxey had him, and he somehow escaped. And Don Matthews is going to gamble on 3rd and 2. 3rd and goal. 3rd gamble of the game. Green, Vaughn, touchdown. Well, we've had the photo shoot, the Hail Gizmo, now the Mark Lee interview.
The Mark Lee, and that's a tribute to Mark Lee, obviously. But I tell you what, again, it's a case. You know you got 2 yards. You can't play off the receiver, especially Terry Vaughn, and he does. Nate Terry in this instance, they've been picking on Jackie Mitchell earlier. He just plays a little soft. He allows Terry Vaughn to get some separation, and the rest is history as Nealon Green threads the needle, and they regain the lead.
7th lead change of the game. 4:06 to play. And it's 30-27 Edmonton.
Oh, he just sits him right there. And as you see, number 29, Nate Terry, behind Terry Vaughn. You've got, I know it's hard, you know, to understand, but sometimes it's easier for us to say up here because we're not covering Terry Vaughn, because we certainly couldn't do any better job. But I tell you what, you got to kind of put a little hand on him, disrupt that pattern, because that's a timing pattern. Gets outside, Terry Vaughn finds a little separation, goes down to his knees to catch the ball from Nealon Green, and as you say, another change of score and change of lead. Right, these two teams are putting on a wonderful offensive display.
2-0, baby. Good job, online.
There's Bendros, who erased the last Eskimo lead in a hurry. This time limited to the 20.
Nice tackle by 23, Shannon Garrett, wrapping it up, not having another one of those big returns by Demetrius Bendros.
Well, does Saskatchewan go back to this man who has 200 yards rushing.
Well, there's the numbers right there, Chris. 200 yards, George Reed 204, but obviously the big one, 268, set in October 24th, 1965.
That against the BC Lions. It's the first time Saskatchewan's offense has been on the field in the fourth quarter. They fake to Davis and Graves. What a play by Marvin Graves up to the 37-yard line.
Oh yeah, Nealon, you think you're the only one that can run with the football? Watch me. I'll pull it back, little play action, get to the outside, and then, hey, nobody open? I'll tuck it and go for it. There's a nice play action. Pull it right out of Davis's hands, get it around to the corner, take off.
Doug Peterson and the Green Eskimos digging in. This time they go to Davis, nothing doing. Or is it? Boy, he almost shook out of that pile.
Oh, he most definitely did, Chris. His feet are continually growing. Remember, the thing is, this guy is low to the ground. He's only 5'8", and he doesn't run straight up. He gets a little arc in his body right there, and as you say, he's always fighting for that extra yard.
3 minutes to go. What an afternoon at Commonwealth Stadium, and it's still in the balance. Well, games like this will make the new commissioner's job a little bit easier. Michael Lisko, who is a marketing whiz, will have a field day with a game like this, as Marvin Graves and Nealon Green have gone end-to-end, 2nd and 8. Here comes the Eskimo blitz. Graves gets it away, downfield, and everybody well covered, intended for Eric Gulliford.
Well, they brought everybody but the house. They brought the linebacking crew, and they also had a safety blitz. Marvin Graves, that's a great read. He throws the ball to the middle where it's vacated because there's no safety. Unfortunately, the receiver does not see that as well, and he throws the ball to an opening where there is no receiver. You see number 8, Chris Hardy and Robert Brown taking Marvin Graves down to the ground.
Terry Vaughn drops deep, so Giz just can't go. This may be the final Saskatchewan punt of the day. Not a great punt. Decent bounce though. And they swarm Vaughn at the 37. Here's Mark.
Well, Chris, on the back of many or all of the Eskimo helmets, you'll see this word Rev. It is a tribute today to Reverend Johnny Collins, the longtime team chaplain with the Eskimos, and he held his final pregame service with the team today. Reverend Collins is suffering from cancer, and following his release from hospital, he's been bedridden. The team asked if he could come out and make one more trip to the locker room. He did, and so these Eskimos are rallying around him today. Their mentor, their friend, and spiritual advisor, Reverend Johnny Collins.
A lot of emotion wrapped up in this afternoon for the Edmonton Eskimos.
Well, Chris, it's the biggest thing. You want to have a victory. That's the biggest thing.
Nealon Green has come alive in this fourth quarter. And Green saw Laudaphius Bacala lining him up, and he hits the deck at the 39, just a couple.
Well, I'll tell you what right now, Saskatchewan very lucky, because I really believe that Nealon Green slipped and fell. And I tell you what, they cannot lose contain. They got the rookie Chance McCarty in there. One of the things he's going to hear about from his defensive coach tomorrow is make sure you keep Nealon Green in the pocket.
2nd and 8. Saskatchewan needs the ball back. 2:20 to go. A 3-point Eskimo lead. Nealon Green, nice fake, and he'll get the first down. What a terrific piece of work by Nealon Green.
Simple play action, fake it to Mark Nora, pull the ball, look, stick it in, pull it out. Everybody, you can see this time, Chance McCarty's not going to be fooled twice, but Nealon Green, with his great athletic ability, cuts it back inside this time. He's giving these guys fits.
You know, there's been a lot of great quarterbacks in this league with the ability to run. Doug Flutie, Damon Allen, Tracy Ham. But, you know, a guy like Leroy Blue last week in Toronto saying none have ever had the speed of Nealon Green. At the 50, first down, the big man, Nora. What a collision that was. He hit a wall at the line of scrimmage, and Andrew Henry celebrates the hit.
Well, Andrew Henry gets up and, as you say, meets him body to body, and you can hear it up here in the booth, the collision. Straight dive play. Runs right into number 11. Number 11 takes the worst of it, but still stops Mark Nora after a 1-yard gain.
Nora up to 93 yards on the day. Clock continues to run. And another pivotal play for the Saskatchewan defense.
But 2nd and long is a great situation for the defense.
2nd and 8. Green tracked down this time. Andrew Henry celebrates a great series for Saskatchewan. 1:15 to go, and the Riders are going to get the ball back.
Well, Andrew Henry getting his first sack as a linebacker. First sack this year. Just going to come off the side. Not fooled by the play action. Nice job. Look at him square up there. Not allowing Nealon Green to get to the outside. That, in effect, allows their offense, Saskatchewan's offense, to get one more crack with the football.
Saskatchewan has called a timeout with 1:15 on the clock.
Now, Chris, here's a question. 1:15, do you play conservative, you know, take a block return, or do you go after the kicker?
They have blocked a field goal today. Gulliford is back, one of the premier punt returners in the league.
Well, the highest average of all punt returners is Eric Gulliford.
They pay you to be the analyst. I guess they'll play for the return. And Gulliford gets the no yards and gets a big return. Gulliford still going across the 50-yard line.
Well, Chris, we may have overtime if it's a field goal, but what a nice job. Eric Gulliford catching a football in traffic. The flag was thrown. There was a no yards.
Edmonton number 13, decline, first down.
They'll take the 32-yard return instead.
That's a no-brainer right there. I mean, obviously, when you get a great return by Eric Gulliford and set your offense up on the 53-yard line, woo! What a game.
Marvin Graves has 61 seconds to try and tie it or to win it. Dylan Ching into the game as an extra receiver. There's Gulliford, and he has the catch and a first down at the 44. And they're already close to Paul McCallum.
Well, this is a nice job. And look what they're doing right now, Chris. I believe they're going to start doing a little fire. Not allow Edmonton to get their calls in. Marvin Graves barking out signals right now.
Right back to work. Graves over the middle and a stretch out catch by Farthing. No, they rule the ball hit the turf. The veteran Farthing has not been called upon much today. He laid out for this ball.
That's a good call by the referee. You can see the ball coming out of the hands, just hitting the turf. Farthing doing a good job to try and disguise that, but nice call by the referee.
And now, the Commonwealth Stadium throng urging the defense. 2nd and 10. Curtis Marsh drops the ball.
Unbelievable. Nice read by Marvin Graves. They pick up the blitz. Carter's coming. They're bringing everybody on the Edmonton defense. Throws the ball. Curtis Marsh comes into the middle, vacated spot right there in front of Peterson, and drops the football.
And that means Paul McCallum will have to attempt one from 51 yards out. He's actually 2 for 3 from beyond this point this year. He has 2 53-yarders, and one was against Edmonton. They're going to spot this at the 52. Ching puts it down, and McCallum puts it through with 42 seconds left. The Roughriders still alive.
Chris, I gotta tell you, what a great kick by this kid. And why do I say that? Because the snap was off. Dylan Ching does a great job of bringing the ball down. Now remember, when you're kicking a field goal, it's timing between your snapper, your holder, and the kicker. This is snapped a little high. Ching has to bring it down, readjust the ball. That affects the timing. Watch him. He goes up. He has to try and get it spun. He doesn't even have time to get the laces spun. That's a nice job by Dylan Ching of not allowing to be frustrated, put the ball down. But what a kick. What a kick by Paul McCallum.
Student body left. That's where Green rolls and delivers a first down strike to Hervey.
Hey, just flood the short side of the field. Put everybody over there. Run 3 deep. Bring Ed Hervey underneath. Nice job, nice execution. All he's going to do is scramble to the short side right now. Now everybody's going up. You see McCorvey at the top of your screen right there, but look at Ed Hervey playing in front of Omar Morgan right there.
A must-win situation for both teams to achieve goals set before this game. There's Hervey incomplete. Boy, the timing was perfect for McCalla. The Eskimos might suggest too perfect.
Oh, that was nice. That's a nice job of McCalla, number 31, coming in, and as you say, timing it. See as the ball goes there right there now? It looks awful close, and I hate to be the one making that call, but as a result, it's still an incompletion, and it's second down.
It's like Hervey jammed his hand. It'll be 2nd and 10. Trouble, almost dropped the ball, way back at his 25, and now weaving through traffic, DePastek brings him down, and that took a lot of time off the clock as well.
That took 12 seconds, all that running, and the biggest thing is they actually lose 2 yards. That's a sack. But he's doing everything he can, Elon Green is, to try and make a play happen. Hey, give credit to the Saskatchewan defense, staying after him, not giving up, not staying on the ground. There were bodies wearing the green and white that hit the ground. They got back up and entered the chase again. And as you say, Napastuk with the sack at the end. Boy, now we got 3rd down.
On the go, Jake.
And they'll just wind the clock down here. They won't even kick it. And we will go to overtime. Don Matthews, Danny Barrett haven't decided anything yet, except at least a guaranteed point for either side.
Where records might be broken when you combine overtime statistics.
Now, if Saskatchewan doesn't score a major, Edmonton already knows they can match a field goal before they even start.
Well, that's what happens. That's one of the things about this overtime rule that can really come back to haunt you, and it's almost an advantage to start second.
2nd and short. Davis, little stutter step, and he gets across the 25 and has a first down.
Well, staying on the ground, I mean, it doesn't matter how long you use the clock right here. You have 4 possessions. It's just a matter of moving the chains, trying to score a touchdown. But as you say, because you start at the 35, the closer you get, obviously, the less distance for a field goal.
Up to 213 yards. A remarkable day by Davis, who takes a breather. As they go with a 6-pack of receivers. Graves in the grasp, gets it away to Farthing. Dan Farthing pitching it to Bendra. and he's down to the 10. A little razzle-dazzle to keep it going, and a flag flies late.
Well, Fairbrother was involved in an altercation with the safety, Chris Hardy. Way downfield, as he throws the football, everybody's trying to get downfield and throw a block.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Saskatchewan number 54. After the first down was gained, first down.
Jeremy O'Day called after the first down, and they'll march it back to the 26. We understand we had some transmission problems. If you lost us for a bit, we apologize, and glad you're back. We're in overtime. This is the first mini game. Saskatchewan with the first possession, 1st and 10, and Graves to Ben Ross. Ben Ross, a little shake and bake to the 15.
That's the first, Jake.
Well, they get the ball back to where they had it last time, Chris, before they took the penalty and moved them back 15. But Marvin Graves is really throwing the ball well, sitting back there very composed. Remember, this is a guy who hasn't started a game since '98, and that was in the Arena League.
Again, they will play a series of mini games till this is decided. Saskatchewan with the first possession. Edmonton will get to answer. Flag down. Graves looks into the end zone for Gulliford. Over his head, incomplete. And we'll sort out the flag.
Edmonton number 27. Repeat first down.
Mobley jumped. Wasn't sure if he was drawn, but he is offside. It is Davis, straight up the gut. Look at Davis, down near the goal line.
And you got to remember one thing, Chris, and that's an exceptional run. And what line surge. That offensive line was with Darren Davis at the goal line. Now remember, if Saskatchewan scores, that really puts a lot of pressure on Edmonton because of the fact they've got a match.
Just came up short. So they are 1st and goal from the 1. And when you put 7 on the board, it's not bad starting. And Graves plunges in.
Chris, that's just wonderful execution. Not being deterred by the penalty by Ben Fairbrother, which I still don't agree with, or Jeremy O'Day, excuse me, going down the field, getting pushed back 15 yards, and again, Marvin Graves sitting back there composed in a comfort level that I don't think many of us expected him to have today. Throwing another strike to Bendros, moving the ball, giving it to your main guy, Darren Davis. Bam, the offensive line takes it to the 1 with him, and then he takes it over himself.
And McCallum to add the extra point. So now the Edmonton Eskimos will scrimmage from the 35. But my point of an advantage for the second team is now Don Matthews, they'll play 3-down football against 7.
Absolutely, you know what you got to do. But it's a desperation. You are 3-down football, as you say. You know you can't settle for a field goal. That puts a lot of pressure on the defense, but the defense knows you only got 3 plays. We shut them down 3 plays. The 2 points is ours.
Again, the rules. Both teams get equal numbers of possessions. And if Edmonton does not match here with a touchdown, the game's over. If they do score a touchdown, we'll go to a second of a possible 4 mini games. Elon Green throwing a strike to Rick Walters. That's his first catch of the game. He has a catch in every game this year.
Now we just talked about the stats coming into play. During regulation time, he has a catch in every game. Now it's overtime, he makes the catch, yet the streak will continue.
2nd and 3. McCorvey, he has the first down and pounded out of bounds.
Oh, they ran a rub play or a pick play right there. Ed Hervey, Kes McCorvey, short side of the field. You see 81 coming underneath. Just run a little misdirection. The defenders, the secondary, stay back as a result so they can switch the coverage. Nice catch by Kes McCorvey, and it keeps the drive alive. Whoa.
If the Eskimos do not score a major on this possession, the Calgary Stampeders finish first in the CFL West. Green to the 15, lunging for the 10, and another first down.
Well, we say it all day, what an offensive display put on by both these teams. And here's another example of it again. Nealon Green just looking for somebody, can't find him. He's not going to force the football in this situation. He's going to use his ability as a runner now. And as you say, dives for a first down. And now they're just outside the 10-yard line going in.
Green takes a look over the middle, touchdown! Kes McCorvey! And the Eskimos' first place hopes are still alive.
Well, Chris, I'm not really sure what that dance was. But I tell you what a great job. One-on-one coverage. Look at that. Little shake and bake. Working on Antoine Hunter, going low, much like Terry Vaughn in the fourth quarter. Nealon Green again throwing the ball where only the receiver can catch it. Again, execution by the Edmonton offense. And folks, we're 1 point away from being tied again.
We'll go to another mini game after McCorvey's second touchdown of the day. And he now has 15 on the year. That's 3 away from Brian Kelly's Eskimo record. This time the Eskimos will go first.
And this is great. They change it all up. We're on fire, we'll keep the ball.
Green looking for Hervey. Incomplete. Good break on the ball by McCalla.
Good break on the ball, but initially, now I don't know if McCalla was trying to bait Nealon into throwing that ball to Ed Hervey, because he definitely played off a number 81 and then reacted to the football. Now, on one of those things, two things can happen. One, 31 can pick it off. Two, he gets there too late, and Ed Hervey waltzes into the end zone.
Second and 10. Here comes the blitz. Green gets outside. A lot of running room. Nealon Green down to the 14-yard line. What a second half and overtime the Eskimo quarterback has had.
Well, again, I mean, they've done a nice job when they contain him. But you can't let him go. I mean, this is designed to go to the left. But he comes back and just beats Marcus McDavid, Demetrius Maxey. I mean, it was a safety blitz. Marcus McDavid coming. Now you got to keep him inside. You don't blitz a guy and let him get to your outside, because now you're really in the hurt bag.
Nealon Green over 100 yards. Most of it since halftime. First down. Green reverses into the end zone, and there's a flag. McCorvey got bumped by Antoine Hunter, and Hunter's enraged.
Pass interference. Saskatchewan number 39. First down.
The ball's at the 1, Chris.
Oh boy, what a call to make. And you almost hate to be the person throwing the flag on this. You see McCorvey right there, 85. He's going to be working inside, comes back. See him come back right there, he slips. Boy, I tell you, that's a tough call, Chris, especially in this type of a game in overtime with so much riding on the outcome.
Daniels, touchdown. And now the pressure's on Saskatchewan.
said before, Chris, we're in 3-down football, much like Edmonton was on their first kick at the cat in overtime. There's the supposed culprit, number 39, Antoine Hunter, and boy, I tell you, he's angry, and I don't know if I can blame him on that call. But it stands. They're not going to go back, and Sean Daniels finishes it off with a 1-yard plunge, and we'll see if Saskatchewan can come back and answer.
Trueluck moved early. Fleming puts it through. So now Saskatchewan will have to score a major.
Well, obviously the key play is this play right here. McCorvey trying to do a little up and duke back inside. Now he sees the quarterback scrambling. So what does he do? He tries to go back to the outside. Now he slips there. Now look, I'm looking for anybody touching him. The hands aren't there. You know what? There's no interference on that. I'm sorry. And of course, you know, we finish it off. Almost anticlimactic, even though it is the go-ahead touchdown. But boy, what a time. If you're a Rider fan or a Roughriders, what a way to go that way. But hey, they still got an opportunity here, Chris.
They know they must score major. It's 3-down football for them. And here's Zarka wide open. Chris Zarka thundering for the end zone and his first career CFL touchdown.
And what a touchdown at that. Woo!
Do this shit one more time.
What a call, a screenplay. Haven't seen it all game. Swing him out in the backfield, let the pressure come up, and look at this. But downfield, look at the blocking. Look at 22, look at Dylan Ching. What a great block by number 22 of the Roughriders. And I tell you what, Chris Zarka, he gets up ahead of steam, and look at him, he is just going, baby.
They need the extra point, and they get it. And we'll go to mini game number 3 as Antoine Hunter gets off the hook.
How's everybody doing back in Regina? About to bring this one home. How you doing, Serena? Love you, babe.
Saskatchewan played Calgary to a 51-all tie. In one of these earlier, nice fake by Graves. Out to Gulliford, who just stepped out. Otherwise, he might have walked a tightrope to the end zone.
And with both teams having a great running game today, the play-action bootleg works so well for both of them. Marvin Graves runs this masterfully right now. Fakes it to Darren Davis and gets to the outside, throws a strike to Gulliford, and again, we're moving the ball. It's second and short.
Boy, Marvin Graves has made quite an impression. There's guys out there in the green and white playing for next year.
Oh, absolutely.
Procedure, Saskatchewan number 67, still second down.
And it looked like Comiskey thought it was first sound, because you could hear it up here. Marvin Graves barking out the hut. Comiskey leaving a little over aggressive and a little early.
Fourth-year man out of Windsor. Second and 5. Graves, complete. Marsh spins away. Curtis Marsh probably thinking about the one he dropped earlier. Comes up with a key first down here.
And the one he dropped earlier, Chris, the biggest thing about it was they hadn't even thrown the ball to Curtis Marsh in probably 2 quarters. Here he is working one-on-one, just gonna come inside of Peterson, ball right on the number. Look right between the number 8. Now he is trying to do whatever he can to get positive yards after catch, people. That's what it's all about.
He has been the forgotten man for much of the afternoon. Ball's on the 17, it's first down. We're in the 3rd mini game. Davis, look at this! And finally brought down at the 14. He got a couple when he shouldn't have had any.
Well, absolutely. Stuffed in the backfield. A.J. Gass, Doug Peterson, I mean, and his legs just keep driving. This young man from Iowa State having a great game today. Look at the guys beat him. AJ Gass, 77's got him wrapped up. He refuses to be tackled, and again, makes something out of nothing.
They mark the ball at the 14. They give Davis 3. 2nd and 7. End zone, Farthing, touchdown!
Well, if there's a game ball out here, Chris, and Saskatchewan walks away from this, you give Marvin Graves the football. Because this man is composed. He sits back in there, sees the rush coming. That offensive line and fullback Chris Zarka do a wonderful job of picking it up, but he doesn't get rattled. Moves up into the pocket and throws a strike to Dan Farthing in the back of the end zone. What a game. Look at this throw, right under pressure, end of the end zone. Wide open, Dan Farthing. Look at Danny Barrett, Henry Burris. All right.
This is what was anticipated from Marvin Graves when he first came into the league after that brilliant career at Syracuse.
Well, now, if you're looking at a situation saying, you know what, do we have a couple quarterbacks in the future? Boy, Saskatchewan, if you can hang on to these two young guys, boy, you got something down the road.
So we now move to the second half of the third of 4 mini games. And if they don't decide it after that, they'll both walk away with a tie. Mark Nora, he's got 4.
And these two offenses, Chris, virtually identical with what they're doing. Marvin Graves using the fullback, the running back, Darren Davis to set up the play action to get him to the outside. Nealon Green will do the same. He'll give it to big Mark Nora. Next time he'll pull it out of him and take off around the corner. Very similar styles of offense both of these teams are running.
51-44 is the score. 2nd down and 6 for Edmonton. Terry Vaughn again, 1st down. Drilled out of bounds, but the Eskimos have a fresh set of downs.
Well, Terry Vaughn is just, I mean, this guy is just such a great receiver. I mean, you know he's got speed to take you deep. You don't want to get beat deep, so what he does, he plays them off, and he makes such beautiful cuts. He doesn't round off his patterns, and he gets great separation.
1st down Edmonton from the 20. Mark Nora, touchdown! Well, the offenses are unstoppable.
Wow, I tell you what. You better not be even thinking about going to the fridge or to the bathroom, because I tell you what, you're going to miss something. What a great display again. Handing it off, Mark Nora busting up the middle and taking it all the way. Just a little draw play, but look at this. Great job of the right side, Morris and Cunningham, to wash the Saskatchewan defense down. He takes it to the outside and all the way. And after 3 overtime, we are tied at 51.
Nora with 117 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Because it's been all offense on either side. Right back to Nealon Green. He's run the Saskatchewan Roughriders ragged in this overtime and second half.
We just talked about this. You either give it to Nora, but look at all the touchdowns scored today. McCorvey, Nora, Vaughn Daniels from Edmonton, Marzarka, Graves. I mean, you got 6 on Saskatchewan. It has been an offensive display.
Cheaper by the dozen.
You can see it right there now. There's some blood right there. You can see right there. Now he's looking at it, but it doesn't look that serious. He's trying to close it right now. He's trying to make a fist. comes over to the bench and then goes down, and as we saw from the last pictures,
still in great shape.
Absolutely.
He can't handle the ball right now, no question about that.
Remember, that's the hand that goes underneath that has to receive it, the snap.
So it's up to Crowley, who has been sharp when called upon this year. There's a handoff, and that was snuffed immediately on 2nd and a yard.
Well, this is the toughest situation to throw any quarterback in right now. I mean, you throw Dan Crowley in cold, right away Saskatchewan's defense is not respecting his running ability. So now they change the way they come after you. You saw them, they just pinched right down on that play.
And Chris, here's why going first is a disadvantage. It's 3rd and 1, and they're going to have to gamble here, not knowing what the other team has coming up. They'll get it. But they kick a field goal there. If it was 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, they kick a field goal there and really gives Saskatchewan a big edge.
Well, it basically allows Saskatchewan to know what they have to do. They know there's no sense matching it. It says to Saskatchewan, we can win it now. No ifs, ands, or buts if we score a touchdown.
Crowley, and this time delivered low to Bond.
And wide open. Nate Terry, Jackie Mitchell, Antoine Hunter, the halfbacks of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, are going to be so happy when they don't have to see Terry Vaughn anymore.
2nd and 10. Crowley under fire. Maxey trying to take him down. End zone. Overthrown. Out of play. And a battle for a souvenir there.
And now we're in a situation, you know, with 3rd and 10, you've got to go for the field goal.
Nealon Green has a lacerated left hand, the back of his left hand, where a helmet made contact on the tackle. The Eskimo medical staff do not think it's broken. They've bandaged it with some padding and gauze right now. They tried to give him a ball to hold on to, but he hasn't touched anything yet.
He won't again today because this is the last Eskimo possession, and Fleming has missed it. Sean Fleming has missed, and now Saskatchewan only needs a point to win, or a field goal to win.
And I pray that I'm not the one that, you know, I really think that prior to this play, or his kick, that Sean Fleming had corrected his swing. Now you see Crowley holding it right there. It goes down fine. Good delivery, good kick at the ball. He's watching it go through.
So it is a 1-point Eskimo lead. Flag is down as they go deep for Curtis Marsh. Incomplete.
Well, Demetrius Bendros left way early. Beat the snap count by a full Hutton.
2nd and 10. Davis stopped up. The defense stays fired up, but again, even if they don't move the ball another yard, McCallum's in a 42-yard position. And remember, McCallum hit one from 52 to force overtime. Well, this is the final play of the game, and he'll try it from 42 yards out.
No timeout.
Will the Eskimos kick this out if he misses? He won't, and Saskatchewan's still alive. 54-52, the Saskatchewan Roughriders are still alive in the playoff picture.
What a wonderful, wonderful game. I don't know what I've seen such great offensive display. Overtime, what a great thing. Back and forth, boy, and then of course it comes down to Fleming. He misses, we look at it, don't know. Paul McCallum, who you said earlier, Chris, the crucial 52-yarder. Again, Dylan Ching reaches back for that snap. This is not a good snap. Look where it goes. He's got to go behind his body, sets it up. Hey, Dylan Ching, I told you earlier, you got some blocks downfield on the big touchdown by Zarka, but I tell you what, McCallum You're a happy guy. Sean Fleming not too happy about that.
So Gizmo Williams' final regular season home game will be memorable, maybe not for the reasons Eskimo fans would have hoped. Danny Barrett's crew has their 3rd road win of the year. They now have 5 wins on the year and still have a faint hope of the postseason. Edmonton's loss means Calgary wins the West. Thanks for joining us, and so long from Edmonton.